Hey Warrior Dads, thanks for tuning back in. I have another product review that I'm going to do for you guys today. I had mentioned it in one of my previous videos where I reviewed the beard brush and comb, and I told you about the Aries Defender Pro that I was wearing at the time. I took it off to do the video, and so I wanted to bring this to you because this is the new one that I got, the Aries Defender Pro, which is the complement to the Aries Defender Infinity that I had before, and I had done a review on them as well, but I wanted to introduce this one to you because now that 5G is coming out, I already have it on my phone, and I think it depends on the different area that you're in, but I have 5G now on my phone, which is AT&T. I have an iPhone, and so one day I did a phone update, and all of a sudden, boom, the 4G or the LTE changed to 5G. And so when I travel certain places, it'll go back down to 4G, but then every time I get back into my area, I always see 5G. So 5G is the signal, and one of the cool things I learned about with 5G is now the cellular signal, so every time you make a phone call, before it used to be the cellular signal, and then your data would be separate. So the way I thought about it when it got explained to me was, I thought of, you know, the old red, white, and yellow cables that you used to have with VCRs back in the day. And if you're younger and you don't know what VCR is, go ask somebody that knows what one is. So you used to have red, white, and yellow, right? And so the red and the white was for the audio only, and then the yellow was for the video. Okay, so there was two separate ones. So when you make so the way I thought about it was like, okay, when I made a phone call, that would be on one channel, and when I used the data for the internet or email or something like that, that would be on a separate channel. And that's how it used to be. Well, if you know anything about with the red, white, and yellow, they're pretty much obsolete now and everything's moving to HDMI. And the cool thing with HDMI is that it all gets put onto one cable. So you don't need a separate cord for your audio, and you don't need a separate cord for your video. It's all put now onto one cable. Okay, because actually the idea of the bandwidth of the cable is kind of opened up and more information can travel on the same line. Well, now that's the exact same thing that's happening with 5G. Whereas before you'd use, if you turned your phone off the data, you would just use your cell phone signal to make a phone call. And then you could always connect to Wi-Fi, right? But even if you connect to Wi-Fi, now with 5G, you're still connected to 5G because now your cellular phone calls are made on the 5G network. So I hope I explained that right. So it makes sense in my head, but let me just try it one more time. So you are basically making phone calls and surfing the internet on 5G now all the time. So even if you turn your phone onto Wi-Fi, whereas before in the past it would cut out that 3G, 4G signal, you would only run on the Wi-Fi. Now, if you have 5G, when you go on the Wi-Fi network, you're still getting the 5G signal because now our cell phone calls are on the 5G signal, if that makes sense. So hopefully that makes more sense. So you're constantly getting that 5G signal, which is way higher than the 4G LTE signal. And that's more disruptive to the body. So if you had watched my previous video on the Aries products, you'll know that basically the signals from our phones and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, anything like that, it's very, very choppy, it's very, very chaotic. And so what these products do is it helps your body to kind of be put into like a coherent space, almost think of it like as a bubble. So this is made of silicone, microprocessors, and antennas and things like that, and it's a layered technology that's really cool. And so you can actually see when you know, it's easier when you have it in your hands to actually see. It's almost like a hologram, but those are all the different layers of the antennas and the silicone microprocessors and things like that to help to protect you. And so what it does is it kind of creates that bubble around you for a more coherent space. It makes it easier for your body to handle those stressful signals because our body operates on a certain electrical frequency, but it's extremely low. And so when you have a very high frequency coming in, it disrupts our normal frequency that the brain and the rest of the body operate on. So it's very, very disruptive. It's very, very stressful to the body, to the cells, etc. And some of it, you know, when you hold up your phone to your, I think I mentioned this in the previous video, when you hold up your phone to your ear for a certain amount of time, you're getting a very concentrated signal to that particular area of the body. Of course the rest of the body is being affected, but that one particular area is getting affected. So if you're holding your phone on your left ear and you notice that your ear starts to get warm or hot, it's because that concentrated signal is so powerful into your ear. What it's doing, it's literally microwaving the water in the cells in your ear. So it works just like a microwave would in your kitchen. I'm pointing upstairs, but I don't have a microwave in our kitchen. We don't use one, and I don't recommend you to use one either. So, but the thing is, it's the same technology. The microwaves are going right into the ear, and it's heating up and vibrating and oscillating the water molecules at such a rapid rate that it's heating up your ear. And that's exactly what it does to your food. And because it's so rapid and aggressive, that's why I don't recommend it, because you're literally killing the nutrition and extracting all the water and drying out your food to a degree that it's unhealthy for you. So anyway, back to the Aries Defender Pro. I kept the box just so I can do this review for you guys, just so you can see how it comes. So this is it. When you open it up, a little magnetic strip here. The packaging is really, really nice. They've definitely put some time and money into the packaging. Open it up, and this little guy pops out. It's about the thickness of almost 2 credit cards, maybe 1.5 credit cards. And this is it. So I'll try to show you. I mean, it's right in the center. It's going to be really, really hard to see. I'm guessing you're not able to see it. But anyway, it's about that thick, okay? Comes with a holder. Now, I've been wearing this for quite a while, and I usually wear it directly against my skin. So this is a little darker than what it comes. It comes a little bit more of a cream color. My sweat's discolored it a little bit. But this is the nice little leather pouch that comes in it. And then just a couple other cards, shows you how to use it. It says you can keep it in your wallet, but if you keep your wallet in your back pocket, I wouldn't recommend that, because you're not supposed to bend this. Because like I said, it's a layered technology, and if you crack a layer, it can crack the whole thing. So that's why they recommend to wear it around your neck. I do wear it in my front pocket sometimes, which is helpful. So basically, just slide this little puppy in there and put it around your neck. The cool thing about the Pro, and one of the reasons I pulled the trigger to make the switch, is because it's a greater area. So it's not just more compatible with 5G, because you can see on their website that you know, it's good for the Wi-Fi signal, the 3G signal, the LTE signal. And it's not that the older ones that we still have them, and we just put them in my son's backpack, so he brings one to school and he has one on him. It's not that they're incompatible with 5G, but the testing isn't there. The testing is there, and they've upgraded the technology. However, they've also upgraded the radius. So remember I mentioned that bubble earlier. So the last one put you basically in a 6-foot bubble. So if you start from the midline of your body, 3 feet out that way, 6 foot diameter in a 360 radius, right? This one, which I think is like 2 meters, right? 6 foot, roughly 2 meters. This one is 5 meters, which is roughly 18 feet all the way out. So 9 feet, 16 feet, something like that. 16 to 18 feet basically. So it's 5 meters, whatever that conversion is. But you have 5 meters, so I'm pretty sure it's 8. So it's 8 each direction in a 360-degree rotation. So that means that if my son's standing next to me, he's in my bubble, right? If my wife's standing next to me here, she's in my bubble. And now we actually each have one. So, you know, if you're on an airplane, if you travel a lot, if you're in a room with everybody that has their own cell phones, which pretty much every single person does now, even my parents have cell phones today. So the thing is that everybody has a cell phone, and you're having that direct connection right to the phone. So you're constantly being subjected to the signals, but it's more, I believe it's more concentrated when it hits that phone. So if you're in a room and every single person has their phone, you're in a movie theater or something like that, nobody's actually turning their phone off, they're just putting it on silent, right? So it's a lot of electromagnetic stress, and a lot of electromagnetic frequencies coming into the room, which puts stress on your body. So it's really, really good to shield yourself from this. And because the 5G is so much more disruptive to the system than all the previous frequencies that they had put out, the 3G, the 4G, the LTE, all that stuff, I mean, 5G is just, it's super, super strong. I was told that it's 10 times stronger than the Wi-Fi signals, which is really, really significant. So 10 times the Wi-Fi, and I think Wi-Fi is like, I forget how many gigahertz it is, but it's a good amount, right? And so this is 10 times the amount. Very, very disruptive to the system. I can't recommend enough that you have some kind of protection. One for you, but more for our kids. You know, I mean, as dads, as parents, we need to do what we can to protect our children. And it's not about being a fanatic about it, but it's just about being prepared, right? So, you know, not about being paranoid, but being prepared in many aspects, in many facets of life. But being knowledgeable about the technology, what the technology can do. I mean, the research isn't even there right now that, you know, to let us know what the effects of these cell phones are having on us. I mean, I got my first cell phone when I was 16, and so, you know, I'm 35 right now, and that's like nothing in the realm of science for us to really see the effects of how people are growing up. And now more and more kids have cell phones, and they're being more exposed to cell phones and technology and these signals, and they're still growing. Their skin is, you know, a lot thinner than ours. Their bones are still developing. And so I can't help think that it's really affecting them on multiple levels, you know, besides just, you know, psychological and all that stuff, but it's disrupting inside. So I would definitely recommend looking into Aries Tech. Great products. I've actually done muscle testing on people that were a little skeptical about it. And, you know, I basically tested their shoulder to see, you know, if their shoulder was good without this, had them hold their cell phone right up. So basically I did it to my son's dentist. So he was asking me, does that stuff really work? I said, well, you know, let's test it out. And this was actually with the old one, not even with the new one. So I had him put out his arm, and I put my hand here. I said, just, you know, hold your arm up. And he was, you know, big guy, definitely working out, big shoulders, big arms, and nice and solid, you know, couldn't push his arm down. I wasn't trying to yank it down, but, you know, just let me see if I can push it down, resist my pressure. Couldn't do it. Got his cell phone. I said, hold your cell phone up to your chest, because it wasn't on him. I had him put it on the other side of the room. Hold your cell phone up to your chest. Push like this, his arm went down, because the signal from this phone, again, is so disruptive to the system that it can actually shut down the muscles. So his arm was significantly weaker, and he was really surprised by that. And then we did it again. I think, you know, we put the phone on the other side of the room, did it again, just to test, retested strong. Put your phone back up to your chest again, tested weak. So then I put the Aries on him, and then his phone to his chest, and then boom, strong. So I've done muscle testing on it. I've known other people that have done muscle testing and dowsing on it, and all the signs come back to these are very highly effective products, super affordable as well, and you can use a 10% off coupon, which I will put in the link below, or the description below, and I'll also put a direct link of where you can go find the product. So use the link, use the code, and you'll get 10% off of anything that you purchase. And I think if you order 3 products or more, the company automatically gives you 10% off. So then if you use my code on top of it, I'm almost positive you get an additional 10% off on top of that. So you can really have some good savings. Because they have little ones that you can put directly on your phone. So I'm actually recording with my phone right now, but I'm actually looking at it. There's a little personalized device that doesn't cover as big of a radius, and technically you don't need it if you have one of these, but it's good for just extra coverage, or if you don't have this, just extra coverage for when you do have your phone up to your ear. It's protecting you even more. So anyway, that's all I have. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back to them. Sometimes I don't always get the notifications right away, but I will do my best. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please hit subscribe and share it with anybody you think would be or would find it beneficial. Also, the second thing is, if you haven't already started listening to the Warrior Dads podcast on Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, Pocket Casts, any of them, you can find the Warrior Dads podcast. Love your support on that, so please subscribe, share it around for anybody you know who has a long commute, likes to listen to podcasts, anything like that. Really love your support on that. So have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.